think when you're 0-2 and your students are gone, and we have 4,000 in the stands like we did tonight, I think that's an unbelievable credit to our community, our region, and our fans. And I just can't tell you, our guys were in the locker room chattering before the game. We probably won't have anybody here. We're going to have to create our own energy, and we didn't have to do that. Our fans did that, and we are so appreciative of them showing up tonight. Okay, thanks.
I thought, I haven't seen the stats yet, but I thought Darius really showed it what a slick perimeter passer he is tonight. I thought he kept the offense going there.
He had, these stats are, Cindy brought this up because she was on the broadcast tonight, and she brought up a great, Darius' stat line doesn't show how well he played tonight. Dove on the floor 3 times, had 8 rebounds, had an offensive rebound for a putback, that was his only 2, and had 4 assists and 2 turnovers. And that's a 9th grader. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty impressive. And, guys, tonight, we had 8 players. I mean, we had 8 players. That's all we had. And you take 2 of your top 8 players out of your program, and the first league all guy, everybody's got to step up. And we played 8 guys, double-figure minutes tonight, and all 8 guys scored, and all 8 guys contributed at one time or another. And that was our whole message going into this game, was do your job. Coach is sitting over there, and we talked about, in football terms, he says that you make your most improvement in your first couple of games in football. Well, basketball, we play twice as many games, so we know these first 3 or 4 games is when we have a chance to make improvement. And I do think we made some improvement tonight. Held a guy averaging 35 to 11, 21 or 24 points underneath his average. We just held a team in Buffalo to its 3-year low, and we just held a team that was picked 3rd in their conference to 48 points and 12% from the 3-point line. Our defense has been pretty spectacular in the first 3 games we played.
Can you talk about the way you came out offensively to go against that zone? You guys I don't think the ball hit the floor for the first 3 minutes. You just whipped it around the perimeter and got people open.
Les, it was our whole objective is that turn down a good shot for a great shot, make the extra pass, and don't play selfish. And the whole thing we talked about all night long was don't shoot a 3 until it touches a big man's hand or in the high post. And I tell you what, they did a good job. They were focused. Our guys were focused. And our biggest challenge was coming out at half, because we haven't come out of half yet where we've really been focused, with the exception of Kentucky. And that was a big emphasis at halftime. Can you focus on what we want to do and what we did defensively and offensively?
You talk about Marcus, what lit it up against the zone.
Well, we did not talk about this publicly, nor did we talk about it to our team. But the staff, we were all saying this has to be the night that Marcus gets us going. And when somebody wants to play a zone, we know how he can shoot the ball. I've been telling you guys, and everybody's been saying, we don't see it. Well, hopefully tonight they saw it a little bit. And we'll find out what the record is. I thought the record was 7 for Shane, but it may be 8. But I'm going to stick with my guns. I think Marcus will break that record. I think he's got a chance to break it.
What about the defense you played on McKnight? I think you had 5 different defenders take turns on him at some point during the game. How were you able to kind of cut his water off most of the night?
Well, I think when you score 35 points, the bullseye goes. So you've got to be cognizant of that at all times. And, he's a good player. We know he's a good player. He's the reason he's preseason player of the year and he's one of the nation's leading scorers. And he got our attention. The same thing that we did the time before with the kid from Buffalo, averaging 33. And the thing that McKnight does, he shoots it 27 times a game, and tonight he only got 17 shots. So he was 10 shots underneath his average. So I just credit our guys. And I think a lot of times you give credit to the guys guarding him, but it's the other guys that are around him, and especially the big guys, because they set so many ball screens for him. Our big guys help guard him as well.
You shot the ball well, but you also racked up a whole bunch of assists. At one point, I think there was 16 assists on 20 buckets. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's what we talked about. And that's what happens when you turn down a good shot for a great shot. And I kept, I got on Aaron a couple of times, and I just said, quarterback's you got to be able to be a quarterback. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to read it and see it. But the best thing tonight for our assist, Les, was when we came out of our timeouts, we executed what we asked them to do. I mean, they did it. And there was a glaring hole in the high post, and we wanted to play through the high post. A lot of people put their point guard in the high post. I learned that from Dana Altman, and we did that, and Sean and Aaron were both really effective in there tonight. And I thought Rudy was effective. I mean, Rudy had his career high tonight, had 12 points, and that was good to see Rudy see the ball go through the basket.
He has had such a struggle, and when Lloyd set him up on those back-to-back plays, it looked like the weight of the world went off his shoulders.
A lot of shoulders. The weight went off a lot of shoulders. But no, Darren, I think I think you're right, because everybody yells at Rudy. You know, you just hear the crowd, Rudy, you know, and I believe me, I'm the world's worst. But yeah, I think that was a good game in which that'll probably jumpstart him a lot.
I don't know if I imagined it or it seemed like you were almost like hockey. You were putting people in for short shifts. Was that because of the short bench?
No, you weren't imagining it. We got to do a better job. I didn't do a very good job in the last game of subbing guys. I didn't. I told our guys there were two things that I took the blame for in the Buffalo game, and I told them openly. I just said I was upset at myself and how I coached the game on the offensive end of the floor, and I was upset at how we substitute. We had too many guys that were tired. We had some issues going on. It took us a little while to figure out without Armand being in there, but and our foul trouble gave us some deal. But that's no excuse. So yeah, we were like, and I said that quote, we'll be like a hockey game tonight.
Is that too, so people don't get tired, so they don't foul? You tend to foul when you get tired. Is that part of it too?
Yeah, I think that, and we have certain responsibilities that you have to do. And I told them if they didn't do a couple of things, they were coming out of the game. And that was only 2 or 3 times tonight. But for the most part, we had guys on short leashes. No man was supposed to play more than 6 minutes, and the bigs were supposed to play more than 4. So we were trying to keep them fresh at all times. We're going to try to do that if we can.
Any strategy with the starting lineup with Bowl instead of Pippen or Nguch in there?
Oh, the strategy was KP did not show up for an appointment. That was the strategy. So no, there was no strategy other than be on time.
What about the rebounding tonight? You guys were plus 11 on the boards. I know you faced Kentucky and Buffalo, but do you feel like you did a better job of boxing out and finishing off defensive possessions and a rebound?
I think we'll figure that out more when I watch it on film. I really wasn't, to be honest. When a team shoots and misses the amount of shots, they missed 40 shots tonight, and when they missed that amount, well, they missed 40 from the field goal and they missed 7, so they missed 47 shots. We were 15 short there that we didn't come up with. So I thought we could have done better on the boards. I thought that was one of the things we didn't do a great job of tonight.
He played 23 minutes. Is that a sign of his health improving?
Yeah, I think so. That's going to be about. That's probably where we're going to be. If we think we could get 20 to 25 minutes out of Teague, we feel like we're going to be really, really good. We'll get more minutes out of Kavion. Kavion didn't play 14 minutes tonight. He'll play a lot more than that.
Is Fletcher and McGill same status for Monday, you think? Or?
Yeah, I don't think they'll play Monday. I anticipate that Armand will get a chance to play in Vegas. I know this for a fact. They can't play but more than probably 10 to 15 minutes a game. I don't know if Eric will play in Vegas, but I think Armand will get to. And it'll be a while before Armand gets into the lineup on a collective basis. He's only going to be able to play 10 minutes a game, 10 to 15 minutes a game, so it'll be a while before we get him started.
Got time for 2 more? If you have.
Oh, I think these guys are good.